I want to say for the first time in history, we're really coming to appreciate the impact, the mind-body impact, the impact on our nervous system that the effects of trauma have had. That's what I want to say. I want to say the traumatic or the traumatizing experiences, those that began with our great-grandparents, grandparents, parents, and then got passed on to us through the way they lived their lives. So they got passed on to us genetically and environmentally. And now it seems that science is much more concerned with environmental influences than the genetic ones, which is great because we can change our environment. So I would say that on some level, on some significant level, what we're seeing here is the human species wanting to evolve in a way that puts behind, that reconciles, that lets go, that reprograms the sub and unconscious scripts, the scripts out of our awareness that have been controlling the way we live and that have led to addictive patterns. What happens with trauma is that we experience some sort of pain, and then that pain lingers, as we like to say, in the shadows, and therefore creates discomfort in us that we attempt to cope with, that ultimately we want to cure, we want to resolve. And I think that historically we have been really focused on resolving that pain from an outward, from an externally focused place. And so I believe that addictive patterns are born of this attempt to resolve our pain from this position of what can I do outside of me? What can I take to heal, to cope with, to lessen the pain? I think that the reason we're seeing the statistics that we see in mental health, seeing the statistics that we see in terms of the rise in mental health conditions, one is we're keeping track of them like never before. There's more focus on them like never before. And two is because we're still figuring out the formula. And for a long time, we said, well, if we go outside of ourselves, we will feel better. And that may be true on some sort of temporary basis. And if that remains the formula, we will inevitably find ourselves in a situation where we've added insult to injury. And I believe that is why, in many ways, we are in the predicament we're in. And science is, for the first time, slowly catching up to maybe some of what good historical mysticism or spirituality or psychology has known and been working hard at utilizing when working with others. So we're seeing, thankfully, we're seeing advances in neuroscience and in mind-body treatment and research to now help us more effectively, more comprehensively, more sustainably deal with this pain that is at the root of all addictive patterns, in which we've been, as I said today, running from. And the interesting thing about it is, wherever we go, there we are. We can't run from our pain because it's a part of us. We can only ever transform it or numb it until it rears its ugly head again and attacks us. Again, in a different way.